I'm gonna get back when I feel like you know I don't play right. I'll put up a good fight. Just give me the word, right? You know I don't play right. You know I don't play right. Don't give me this. I'm gonna get back when I feel like you.
Is this it?
This is it!
Passionate about a life in racing? Circle track, drag racing, drifting, or monster jam. Find it all at the University of Northwestern Ohio.
The passion here is very different than I've seen any other school. You guys set them up very, very well to succeed and to win in a big-time way.
The fact there's a school you can go to for racing is just a little bit insane, but it's very cool because it gives kids like me the opportunity to chase that dream.
See where your future can take you with a high-performance motorsports degree from the University of Northwestern Ohio.
If you think the only thing that really matters
is how fast you can go, we want you.
Join us at Toyota Racing.
So the next step was to get this thing on a proper ECU, especially with all the technology that Link has to offer.
Which should give us full communication and full control over all the sensors.
But so far, being able to log in and review every lap has been a huge plus.
To have Link pull through and step up for us and just help us out to be able to all pull it together.
That's all we need. Simple, cheap, easy, works, good ECU, weatherproof.
It's got enough IOs too, like we're doing tons of stuff. Oil, fuel pressure, boost control.
All those features I have thanks to the Link ECU.
Formula Drift is brought to you by Link ECU. Link Engine Management, the official ECU of Formula Drift. K&N, the official performance air filter of Formula Drift. Ford. Nitto Tire.
Welcome out to Road Atlanta. This is round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Set it! Here we go. Yo, let's go. Now he's looking strong up front. Boom! Oh boy! Guess what? Old Captain Clutch Kick is back. How awesome is this? Banging doors, getting aggressive. Wow! Christoph making his presence felt. Big initiation there for Frederick Osmo. That was proper execution. Whoa, are you kidding me? Look at that. Oswald starts to walk him. James Dean opened the window of opportunity here for Frederick Oswald. James Dean gets the win. That was awesome.
And here it is, our first round of the Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship. This is the Type S Road to the Championship presented by AutoZone. What a beautiful day. This is supposed to be the hottest day, but to be quite honest, I find it really pleasant compared to yesterday. Hot Atlanta was wet Atlanta yesterday. It eventually dried out, but today, a little bit, it's 80 degrees, but with a strong breeze that's clearing out, one, the smoke, two, clearing out the heat. So I'm here once again, Jared Dienda, 21 years. We've been coming here since 2004, but joining me from the start line to the announcer's booth, Mr. Ham Sandwich, Matt Sopa on Europa. He does not keep it clean. Yesterday, his feet stank so bad I had to leave the room. I'm just gonna call it like I see it, because I could literally see the stench coming off his feet, because you were on the line working yesterday a lot. So thank you for what you do, Matt Sopa. But
my friends face down in the muck.
I had to call you out. I said I was going to, but here we are. So happy to have you back up here yesterday.
Likewise.
But ProSpec, man, we're seeing some new names, seeing some familiar faces, some not making the jump, some sophomore seasons, but collectively the most ProSpec drivers we've seen in quite a few years. So the format yesterday, the seating brackets whittled down. Look at that steel livery there, that dove gray look there from Alex Jagger. But overall, what are your thoughts on yesterday's format and now going into game day here?
Yeah, as you may know, I'm a huge fan of the new format. We get more tandems, nonstop tandems, as I said yesterday.
Yep.
And yesterday, Mother Nature kind of shortchanged ProSpec guys. By the time they got a full 100% dry lap, it was the middle of the bracket. So now they've got plenty of practice today. They're ripping, get more aggressive. Let's see what happens.
You know, I'm seeing Rudy Hansen at the top of the list here. That goes off of last year's standings as they end. Keep in mind, Rudy Hansen, you know, he was the top finisher. That is still within ProSpec. Right, but he's a busy man, right? I mean, because he's double dipping, right? So you got to think about some of these drivers, you know. But Ben Hobson making the jump over there. You know, there's quite a few drivers that making ProSpec over to Pro. But we're talking about Dmitriy Brutskiy. He's doing ProSpec and Pro.
Right.
Some people just want to add some torture to their life.
Yeah, some are a glutton for punishment.
But we see that in NASCAR, right? We see that with Infinity and then Cup. But overall, you know, our 32 seating yesterday, like you said, and, you know, I go silver lining. The judges, they're intended to judge. They say, step it up, guys. This is ProSpec. You got to bring it if you eventually want to be in Pro. Again, you could see how spotty it was. It looks like a Dalmatian out there. You're seeing the spots. You're seeing the puddles accumulate, the mud. It was not ideal, but then eventually, like you said, once the event culminated, then it started to dry out.
Yeah, there was, you know, I always say loosen up the cars, but I even got a little flack back with Adam Heichman. He's like, well, I did that, and then I went up against Mr. Wills, who rocket ship. And
Which he went ridiculous.
Yeah, but
there he is.
Other than that, but, yeah, it was super fun to watch. But we gotta tighten things up a bit in the regard of line and execution, not so much the car itself. So
yeah, it's fun. Again, GT Radio. This is ProSpec, so hence the Link Engine Management, the official engine management of Formula Drift and of the ProSpec Championship, and they're all on GT radios as well. So I love that kind of constraints that they have to adhere to, and that evens the playing field. And evening the playing field is an absolutely bone dry track. So I think that's going to be awesome. Be sure to reapply. I saw our fans out there reapplying. But one person we're not going to see here is Amanda Sorensen. Would love to see Amanda Sorensen. Saw her during the autograph signing. She says she hasn't driven the car since St. Louis. She had to change it back to the OE pedal box. Also the steering. She said Brandon drove it a little bit, her brother, who competes in Pro, but just not a lot of seat time behind this, and just had some issues with the throttle being stuck.
Yeah, now that you mentioned that, I did catch wind of that with Brandon yesterday. He said something with the steering shaft was binding, and that's something that they were wrestling with, and the issue there that Michael was handling yesterday. But yeah, just that's unfortunate. Like you always say, it's the nickel part, not the $10,000 one that kind of puts the binder in the gears.
Hey, look at this. Little Savannah Bananas fan there right there as we're here in Atlanta, Georgia, May 9th and 11th. Obviously, we are right now here stuck in the middle of it, May 10th, and we are going to E-Town for the second round of the ProSpec Championship. St. Louis, it's going to be sweaty and ready in St. Louis, Missouri, and then Grantsville, Utah. We're going to find out who will be our 2024
PROSPEC champion. Right, we are. And we are going to find out. There is Team Hansen trying to, what is that, like an optical illusion? He's trying to trance. Is he trying to trance out with that 3/4 glass there? Is that what he's doing there? Like with that right?
Oh yeah, it's like a little razzle dazzle there.
Yeah, exactly. Putting you in a trance here with Team Hansen. But again, we talked about a lot of the PROSPEC drivers moving on to pro. We're talking about Hobson, Andrew Haitley, talking about again this gentleman right here, Rudy Hansen.
Derek Madison went up.
Yep. Yep. So quite a few drivers have jumped, and some people are doing to that. But top 5 overall last year: Hobson, Haitley, Hansen, Richards, and Donati. And I'm really looking forward to seeing Kohl Richards. You know, he's got Takayano in his ear, who's an absolute ledge in the Formula Drift world, and the Hachiroko and the drifting world. But Jeff Donati, you know, his new livery there, inspired by the Porsche, the old Porsche Racing Pig.
Okay, that's what.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. What? Who's kind of your money on right now? Again, next bets, NXT bets.
I'm gonna go with we got the TLO's definitely a weapon out there.
Tommy Lemaire,
our rookie.
Yeah.
Wills.
Wills,
I got to talk to him yesterday or today actually.
Yeah.
And everyone's saying, hey, maybe you should dial it back. I'm like, no, go for it.
Really?
I'm like,
oh, you gave him a little pep talk? Yeah, you're just the announcer, though.
I know. I'm just the guy at the line in the booth. What do I know? I'm just a doctor.
No, exactly. But I play one on TV. Well, Wills, to your point, talking to him yesterday, I was in the car with the judges just cruising the pits, and we stopped and wrapped out with Wills, and he's like, I feel like that's how everybody should drive. Judges are kind of like, maybe dial it back a touch, because you don't want to. You don't want to peak in high school, as they say. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of want to just slowly, gradually. And we saw that, of really championship drivers. Early on of the Formula Drift Championship, it was like Tanner Faust and then Ford. So, just dial it in. But, all right, stay hydrated, reapply. But talking to here, Jared Dienda, Sopa here in the building. But throw it down to our girl on the ground, Lorette Nickel. Lorette, what's up?
Hello, guys. So excited to be in the pits with our PROSPEC drivers and Rudy Hansen. Getting focused, getting ready. We know that he wants to do that again, but you just had your first dry practice after a wet session yesterday. Do you feel like everything is falling into line for you?
It is. Like, the car's ready to rip. It has been driving really good. We kind of bumped the wall yesterday in the pro seating practice, kind of threw us off a bit, but we've got it ready to rip, and it's been working flawless all afternoon.
Okay. How's the driver?
Really good, too. We're excited to just go have some fun.
I love that. Rudy, best of luck. Thank you. Jared?
Thank you so much, Lorette Nickel, and great job out there at F1 Miami. A busy gal here, so happy to see Lorette join us once again for another season out here at Formula Drift and, of course, Pro and PROSPEC. All right, so let's introduce our judges, our 3 judges here this weekend. We got Reese Marin, busy man, and him and Brian Egger just put on an amazing event, Drift Appalachians. It was a really cool event. And Robbie Nishida joined us once again here from Japan. So thank you, Robbie Nishida, the Bushido Blade. And he's down to judge. They're always judging, these guys. Really judgy. The umbrellas are out. The umbrellas are out because of the sun's out, guns out. But again, the breeze is definitely complimentary to it. But overall, taking a look at this iconic course, we used to enter at the bottom portion of that horseshoe, and now just with the let's just call it the progression of the vehicles, they enter at the top and then exit. But what are some standout points that you think the judges are focusing in on?
Well, yesterday, like I said, a few drivers were only able to make it in outer zone 2 and fill it really well. And in contrast, the pro guys would set up their car before, right after outer zone 1, their car would be set up at an angle, and they would drive through outer zone 2 instead of driving to it like we saw a lot of the PROSPEC guys. So that's one thing I like to see clean up, but it is a difficult thing because you're out of inner clip 1, you're digging up the hill, and it's over a crest. It's kind of hard to see. But it's just one thing you got to overcome, and that's one thing that I think if you can nail that line in the lead, you're going to be real successful. And then, of course, your responsibilities in the chase, you'll be sitting pretty. So
I'm thinking that decel area in outer zone 1 is going to come into play because a lot of the guys kind of came up short there going in outer zone 2, and that kind of even in yesterday's seating brackets, it's going to evolve. Here we are, 40 some odd plus drivers, whittling down to 32 here for today's action. Taking a look at that finish line, that came into play yesterday. We saw Von Gittin Jr. and it was Joao Berrion. You know, Joao kind of exited the course a little bit early, and that was up kind of for debate, and eventually Von Gittin Jr. got the loss, but that was kind of a contentious point yesterday, which eventually tomorrow we're going to see James Dean go against RTR El Capitan, which is Von Gittin Jr., so that's going to be interesting right there. But love the dynamicism of this track, an iconic track, knee-jerk reaction immediately. Formula Drift round, which one should I go to? Atlanta. Like anybody, if you're into cars or not into cars, this just has a vibe. It has a culture. You know, I got to ride with Von Gittin Jr. over the Mustangs Unleashed area.
Lucky?
Yeah, look at I know you're a Ford Mustang guy, making it modular over here, building all your different variety of Mustangs. And it's funny because we shot something for the new Send It series that's that Formula Drift is putting out, and it's just really capturing the culture of the areas like Long Beach. You know, the parade to the Pike Bar to this to that, and stay tuned for the Send It of Atlanta. It was awesome. Got to go to Killer Mike, my homeboy's garage, the Villain's garage, and then talking to Vaughn and how the vibe is here in Atlanta. It's thick. Like I say, it's so sweet it'll give you a cavity. All right, here's our keys to victory. And they went away.
No, but what we like to see is one thing I like to point out is when Chris Uhl, our now race control, was a judge, he told these drivers in a PROSPEC meeting a couple years ago to drive with intent, and I'd really like to see that in these guys. Not only in the initiation, but everywhere else on the course. You know, get close proximity to those zones, you know, snappy transition, maintain all your approaches to where you want to go, and look like you're trying to get there without looking like you're putting a lot of effort and input of the car, so to speak. So just it's kind of like act like you've been there before.
Here's what we were talking about last night. This is under the lights, and again, this is ideal dry conditions. This is what we're going to see here later this evening and going into tomorrow night. There's Von Gittin Jr. goes off here. Joao Berrion, which I got to tell you,
yesterday, man.
He was possessed. Another Brazilian driver chopping it up here, and Vaughn found himself in seating because he's only doing 2 rounds. But there it is, Joao Berrion. He goes off course, but just right near that exit. But Vaughn had some mistakes here and there, which landed him going against his, you know, he's kind of spearheading the team with, you know, Chelsea Denofa bidding adieu, hanging up his helmet here in Formula Drift. He wins the championship, says peace out, builds a Porsche drift car, which is pretty sweet in itself. He's kind of blowing up the internet, which is rad, and I got some homies at Porsche, they're excited, but the fans are excited. Another girl that's excited is Lorette Nickel. Down to you, Lorette.
I am so excited, and Cody Buchanan doesn't know what to do with his hands, and he is equally as excited. We have your battle coming up soon, but when you have wet practice, sorry, I didn't know what you were doing with the hands.
I don't know what to do with the hands. I don't know. I'm just, do I keep them down? Do I keep them up? You can keep them down. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but what we're going to be doing when you're facing that long straightaway, man, like what are you doing in the car to get those nerves down?
Truthfully, I'm just screaming Waka Flocka in my head, honestly. Everybody has nerves, and if you got to sing Taylor Swift, if you got to sing Waka Flocka, just get out of that bad mind space and push through.
All right, Cody, thank you so much. He had a conversation with Dylan Hughes earlier, who said top 32 is the toughest battle, and he's just trying to distract himself, guys.
Cody Buchanan, this guy's just having fun before he shows up. Big Pink, Pepto-Bismol, give this guy a sponsorship, man. So settle the tum-tum and settle the nerves, like you said, Dylan Hughes giving him all. And here's the big rule changes, Matt, and you know, this I think this contributes to show flow. Right? Absolutely. You know, obviously good competition creates a good show, but we want show flow as far as expedience and making sure it's right. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a great thing because we're not nitpicking like a couple frames of a drifter like in the transition or if the wheel is straightening out and what is drifting, you know, and when you kind of focus on it, takes away the big picture of like who was dominant in the whole run back and forth.
So, but what we're trying to clarify here is it's if somebody goes off course, it's not absolute and incomplete. If somebody straightens, it's not an absolute incomplete. That's the reduction of automatic incompletes. Judges look at severity of each mistake. So how bad is that mistake, and how does that eventually dictate the outcome of that run? And then one more times are for excellent runs. We're not going to award, when I say we, meaning the judging staff, you're not going to award and be like, they were both really crappy, so we're going to need to see them go again.
Right.
Just going to call it right now. Because, you know, we want to reward yo, that was amazing, and it's really hard to define who was better than who, so let's see them run again.
Absolutely.
And that is the, making one more times for these excellent runs.
Yeah.
So, and that is absolutely. All right, so Rudy Hansen looking again like T2 here. Rudy Hansen, he's from the future. Hooman Rahimi, he's from the right now. Hooman Rahimi, he's only human. He is more human than Hooman, actually. So here we go. Rudy Hansen, #1 qualifier going against Hooman Rahimi. Rudy will lead. Hooman Rahimi will give chase. Here we go. Kicking the tires on our first round of our Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship. Hush falls over the crowd as the lights are on. And on the start line, gets it going. And here we go, down the hill, Rudy Hansen. A busy fellow, him and his team. Team Hansen initiates the gap here between Hooman and Rahimi past that inside clip. This is a lot more indicative of what we are looking for from our ProSpec drivers. 40-plus drivers fighting for the spot, but only one can win here in Atlanta. So we've seen him do it here, and he called it out. He says, I've always wanted to be up on top of the box. He did it last year, and now here he is in the ProSpec Championship, but also in Pro. Pretty good effort there by Rudy Hansen and Hooman. He did keep a consistent distance between him and the lead car of Hansen, but he's going to need to get closer.
Hooman was definitely in frame here. I felt like we found a middle ground here with Hooman. Usually he's 0 or 100, or not completely 0, but you know what I mean. Here, look at him going into outer zone 2. Rudy coming up pretty short, wasn't even tickling the outer zone. Clip 1. Hooman still making presence here, but he's not close to that gap consistently. Like you said, he could have gotten more aggressive. I'm not sure if he saw him smoking all the way down the hill, if he needs to dial in a little more grip in that car to stay closer, but let's switch him around and see what he can do with the clean air.
Yeah, I think overall he gave him too much respect. Yeah, and should have pushed a little harder there, but I'll tell you what, Rudy Hansen, he's not going to let that happen. And this is, I like that Lorette got that out of Buchanan, and talking to Dylan Hughes about the 32 is nerve-wracking, because you just kind of want to get past this point, and then you can really assess how you feel in the car, who you're going against. It kind of gets a little more refined, given placement. But here's the first round of the season, so a lot of nerves here on deck. Hooman Rahimi coming out of the chute, out of that start chicane, swings past the nose of Hansen, but Hansen shaken, not stirred at all. Hooman Rahimi initiates. Rudy Hansen eventually does initiate. He bangs on the door of that Nissan 370Z. Now coming back up the hill. Going to take a different look at that from different angles. Hansen lacking the angle here, but Hooman Rahimi gets into the dirt. So I think that Rudy Hansen maybe got thrown off there. Hooman might have thrown him off given his angle and basically his initiation. Now into that inside clip. This, regardless of Hooman Rahimi's initiation, Rudy could still dial it back and kind of not just fully cook it.
I think if he was about half a cup left in that recipe, he would have been a little better here. Look at Rahimi's, big swing initiation, but Rudy right here, making sure his presence is known. As they go through here, you can kind of see him hesitate, because I think he anticipated Rahimi going a little too deep there, but he was in the zone versus Rudy's lead. He wasn't even completely touching it. So here we go. Rahimi, that's just our reference going there. Hansen still in the present here. Good transition, but goes 1, 2, almost 3 tires off, but that's a deduction for the judges to decide if that's going to swing it either way. It's going to be a hard one here. I feel like the mistakes made. Rahimi had a real clean overall lead run. Both drivers did, but Hansen was more aggressive in the chase. Rahimi was just not as aggressive, but he wasn't. I don't know. He looked more controlled in the chase, but he was just too far back to be in the conversation as dominance goes.
This is kind of again, without watching seating bracket, this is just too aggressive out of the gate. I think that Hansen could have pedaled it back. He has the car, obviously, but that just shows refinement. So I think Hooman had, like you said, a decent lead run. Was it spectacular? It was all right. It's
he felt
passing grade for sure.
All the responsibilities he got in the zone that Rudy didn't. Will that be the make or break? I don't think so, but there's also other mistakes that Rudy made, because he was far more off on that last inner clip and in the chase, and it's not like Rahimi let him off the course or anything like that.
But even it was almost a late initiation from Hansen. You saw him just driving straight. Watch.
Let's see this side by
side. Yeah, so watch on the right-hand side, because that's Rudy. Watch how straight, and then he finally he locks him up, and then he throws it out. So he's already set himself up for kind of disaster. He does kind of wrangle it in. And again, I love Rudy's driving. I think he's aggressive, but you can't throw it all out there right now.
Yeah, if we had like an angle meter.
But watch this right here. Like early transition, he did not help himself at all.
Yeah, if he followed Rahimi's line a little better, I think he would have been in better shape overall. And Rahimi was just kind of out there doing his own thing. It was, you know, if it was as far as like smoothness goes, Hansen really didn't hold his car at a constant angle in his chase run.
All right, so awaiting the judge's verdict here.
It's a good one.
Yeah, again, Hooman was putting the car in the right places. I think Hansen just, like I said, he needs to be a little more calculated on where to strike and show that he is of caliber to be both in pro and pro spec.
Yeah, I think he's bringing the pro aggressive energy to the pro spec a little too soon to the game.
Is that Team Rowdy down there? Just some fans. I know Team Rowdy's in the building. Slide him left for Hansen or right for Hooman Rahimi. And Hansen and Rahimi. And Hooman Rahimi gets the win. Hooman Rahimi gets the win. And I'm telling you, like, that was just not indicative of the caliber of driving Hansen has. And there it is. A lot of people saying Rudy right there. So going against these guys, well, I don't know if you guys are watching the same run, but we saw the same angles here. Even though you got checkered flag, you're not getting the win on that one.
That's because they can't spell his name right. That's not the right
one. Yeah, you can't even spell Hooman right.
But are we seeing a new Rahimi this year?
Maybe. You know, and
he's always the key in the championships.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe Rudy's saying, all right, I'm going to tune it up for pro.
Yeah.
You know, because
like I said, he's got the pro energy and the pro.
He's got work to do. All right, so moving on, we got Kelsey Rowlings.
Tyler Foley.
And Tyler Foley. Should be a good one. All right, Kelsey Rowlings will lead. Tyler Foley coming down the hill. Kelsey across the nose here. Into that first. Ooh, she takes out that front clip. She did center punch that. Kind of a correction there coming up the hill. Came out of drift. That will be a small deduction there. Now through the horseshoe. And Foley can see that. So again, you see how Foley, he backed down, now throws it back out there, but just bathing in the smoke. And that smoke signal can definitely impede on your vision. And that might have been the case even for Hansen on that last clip.
Yeah, I felt like Foley was playing a game of catch-up. Maybe his car just wasn't as tight as it needed to be worried pocket. I did like his initiation there, kind of set him up a little better to get in that pocket. Then he just kind of dropped back here. Let's take a look at how Kelsey went through outer zone 1 there. Kind of over-rotated there, getting to outer zone 2. That car probably gripped up and wiped him shallow into outer zone 2. Takes a little piece out of the clip, and Foley's still trying to play catch-up here. He kind of gets close, pulls back, getting through what was the touch and go. Now we're getting through inner clip 3, and Foley just couldn't close the door on Kelsey there. So yeah, I feel Kelsey put a good lead run, I think.
Yeah.
Besides outer zone 2 coming up short, the car just kind of over-rotated, and that's the only kind of deduction I would put on that lead run. Foley just was kind of playing a game of catch-up.
All right, well, getting that clean air out front, that could definitely change things up. But we will see as Kelsey drops in that chase position. Kelsey was locked and loaded, did not have to go. Again, everybody that's going to lead today basically was locked in, you know, didn't have to do the seating brackets.
Yeah, I never thought of that
interesting.
before. So yeah, cool.
Oh.
Good point.
Here we go, Tyler Foley out front, Kelsey Rowlings in that chase position. Foley having to earn his spot here in 32. So there it is, kind of, again, straight line, then throws it out there. Kelsey checks up, and now all over the course. That is not going to help Kelsey Rowlings at all. But Foley continues on. Wide around that inside clip, too. So not ideal for Foley, but Kelsey in that chase position had one major mistake, and we always talk about this. Oh! And Foley rotates. Kelsey got a good shot there from Justin Smash on the...
Yeah, so see that cone left of Kelsey's car is actually the finish line cone. So
Foley might have been rotating around and impeded on where Kelsey was at. So it looked like he might have been looping it and then maybe ran out of tire, I don't know. But then Kelsey got into the side and fortunately saved it off the wall. Looks like it hopefully is just cosmetic.
Yeah, Foley gave Kelsey a lot of opportunities here to close the gap, and she capitalized on them pretty good here. You can see he kind of closed the, didn't leave her much room there, but she had to play a little game of catch up herself, which I'd say she stayed drifting there. Again, Foley, these guys aren't filling out our zone 2 quite as much as we'd like them to. Another wide angle there. Kelsey striking when the iron was hot there, closing the gap. And here he's going pretty wide here, in my opinion. I think he should have been a little more here as he gets across. And he is 90 degrees at the finish line.
Yeah.
So that's not necessarily an incomplete, but the judges are going to have to take a look at that, put everything into consideration here.
Yeah, Bears repeating there where the finish line was, and you pointed out where that cone was, and we talked about it even with Joao Barillon going off, and that was a point of interest yesterday for the battle in pro of Joao Barillon and Von Gittin Jr.
It's funny, that's not the first time I've seen that debate with Von Gittin Jr. There was a few years ago against Gucci. He just about looped it across the finish line, so it's always...
Well, as we are waiting to clear up the track and get to the verdict here, let's throw it down to Laurent Nickel, who's with Bystrak.
Yeah, Jared, thank you so much. Matt Bystrak is down here, and he had a purpose-built Mustang that was intended to be out here in Atlanta, but you're in the backup car, and can you tell everyone why?
So we built a whole new Mustang S550 for this season. We were waiting on some parts until the last minute. Didn't really give us the ability to do all the testing and kind of fix some of the issues that came up. So we worked on that thing all the way until about Monday at 5 a.m. We decided we're not going to be able to fix the issues that are happening. So we called it quits and spent the next 20 hours getting what was my car last year 100% ready for this season. It didn't need much, but we had to put a new trans back in it. Had to get all new body panels refreshed and make it look presentable. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it wrapped and represent our sponsors out here, but we did get the car out here. We're qualified in it, and we're feeling really comfortable in it. We have the seat time in it, so I'm still excited to be here in Atlanta and debut the Mustang in New Jersey.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that you are comfortable in that. What does that do for your confidence coming here?
I'm definitely a lot more confident coming into this event, for sure. You know, being in the Mustang, I only drove it like one time before we did all the changes to it. So, you know, going into this event, I expected it was definitely going to be a learning curve. But this time, you know, I felt much more at home in the car I've been driving for years.
Good. Matt, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. Jared?
Thank you so much, Laurent Nickel. And we're looking at Foley here and still stranded out there. So some mistakes here and there. I'm definitely going to get talking to the judges. So one of the judges, if they could put their headset on here. Kelsey Rowlings gets one vote and two votes. There it is. So Kelsey Rowlings gets the win.
Nice.
Hey, judges, one of y'all. So talking as we clear up the track, we'd love to get some clarification here. Throw the headset on there. Reese Marin, a new addition to our judging staff. And so Kelsey, I mean, she had a lot of mistakes there on that chase run. Did Foley impeding on her just really throw it off?
What really ended up happening is just that on the lead run, Foley at the very end just had that spin, and that just pretty much sealed the deal and just gave Kelsey the win there. Kelsey did have some errors when she was chasing them. As well, we saw some errors on both drivers, but ultimately right here you can see that the spin happens, and that pretty much seals the deals, and Kelsey's going to move on.
All right.
Right on.
So, yeah, like Reese said here, you know, just some major mistakes. It seemed that Kelsey, you know, I feel like honestly, it was Foley's. I would say it was Foley's until he threw up the roadblock.
I think it could have gone either way. But
it just seemed that, like, Kelsey was off the course, like, not once but twice. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we got to tighten it up here, kids. You know what I mean? Like, this is here we are. We're in PROSPEC. If you have aspirations to go to pro, so so watch this initiation here. So here Foley initiates. Kelsey goes, I mean, wildly off.
That wasn't necessarily
and then
his fault.
Here's another one. That was I don't think he impeded on that.
Right.
So Foley, I think Foley has a decent run right now. He is wide off of that second inside clip.
Still
Kelsey,
on course.
Yep, still on course.
But I think after got the dirt drops out of the way, she improved. And but yeah, maybe that was his fate. Spinning that line.
So, and again, this is a good example of degrees of mistakes to dictate, not an incomplete. That's why, again, Kelsey going off, that was a mistake. That's going to obviously, you know, put kind of a tally mark in the negative for her. But then with Foley, boom, throwing up the roadblock right before the finish line. That is a massive, you're going to impede. So you could, looks like Foley, his body English, you could see like it just grabbed. It looked like you could see like he's talking to, who's he talking to there? Michael, talking to Michael, and you could see he just grabbed the wheel. So, all right, well, we'll clean up the track. We'll get Foley off track here. But Kelsey Rowlings advances on to the 16. We're just putting our toe in here to the big pond that is Formula Drift and the Link Engine Management PROSPEC Championship. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Is there an argument about whether pumice or walnut shell is the best abrasive in your hand cleaner? Not anymore. Fast Orange Premium brings the two abrasives together in one great heavy-duty hand cleaner that includes advanced skin protection. It's our best hand cleaner ever, and that's why we simply named it Premium. Fast Orange. We know a few things about cleaning hands.
Welcome to the streets of Long Beach. Look at that. It is a beautiful day here in Southern California.
K&N is back for another year as the official air filter of Formula Drift.
The final touch to my dream build is a Sony Mobile ES system. Time to cruise with Sony Mobile ES.
On race day, when you want to show everyone out there who's the best,
Here we go, Frederick Osborne.
you really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this. I'm the best there is.
The star is Frederick Osborne.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Atlanta. Top 32 going on, and we just saw Kelsey Rowlings. She is moving on out of the top 32. Congratulations, lady. It was a wild battle against Tyler Foley.
Yeah, it was rough. I definitely had my own mistakes in the lead, and then going into the follow, I didn't have much data on him because my spotter hadn't really seen him drive much. So it was really a guessing game. And going into the initiation, I was expecting like an earlier initiation from him, and I was getting to a point where I'm like, I need to initiate, and I feel like I initiated actually before he did, but my momentum was all screwed up because of that. I ended up like going all the way over the first inner clip, cleaned it up a little bit, but then coming past that last turn, he actually spun going past the final turn, so we had a little bit of contact after he spun, but I don't think it's too bad. I think my car's okay. We're just going to go back to the pits and look it over and get ready for top 16.
Okay. Kelsey, thanks so much. We'll see you in top 16. Jared?
All right, here we go. On to our next battle. We got Austin Matta going against Stuart. Here we go. So here we come down. Austin Matta ripping. Oh, my gosh. Just an absolute huge gap between two drivers. Matta shreds that back bumper, gets involved in the dirt. That allows Stuart to gain some ground here up into the horseshoe. Stuart, some wavering there in the chase position. Matta comes back, and Matta has that that styly boy kind of big, aggressive kind of initiation and just continues all the way through the course. Stuart did tighten up there in the horseshoe. Let's take a look at it again as we were finishing up the conversation there with Kelsey.
Yeah, I love Matta's aggression here. It's always a good show from him. Look at that lead lane, throwing a lot of angle. Real good proximity to inner clip one. Stuart wavering a little bit there. It's going to be a deduction in that chase position. Awesome fill of AutoZone 1 here as he gets through. Little drops a tire or maybe even 2 in AutoZone 2, but he did fill it for, I think, one of the half times we've seen here. Stuart seizing some opportunity to close the door here as he rings it around. Good line from Matta here as he rings it around. Another good proximity. Could have poured on a little more angle getting to the finish line, but other than that, very good, aggressive lead run from Matta. Let's switch it around, see what happens.
All right, so Stuart will now lead. Let's see what Josh has got for us. And Matta, we've seen him competing in a PROSPEC for a minute here. Don't know if he ever wants to make the jump to pro. I think he's liking this. It's, you know, manageable from 4 rounds to 8. It's a big jump. So Stuart, nice job there on initiation. He does take out that inside clip. We'll see if that hurts him, but Stuart now seems to find the sweet spot. He gets in about a quarter of the way into that second outside zone. Comes out of drift there on that second inside clip. The Stuart fam, Corvette, shooting that inside clip out. And Matta, you know, what's interesting here is, you know, the dust, the dirt, the gravel that gets brought on the track, that's gonna play a role later on, because the first clip is, the first clip is the last clip, right?
I felt like Matta had a really good opportunity to show us what he could do in the chase position. It was really good in the first half, and then it kind of fell apart for him a little bit here. Stuart coming up short on outer zone 2 again. He tickled the white line there on the inner just a little bit, but here comes Matta trying to strike on that opportunity, but he just couldn't close the door like I think he wanted to. He was way off line here behind Stuart. Stuart wanted more inside line there. He does hit that clip, but he just never closes the door. And I don't know if that's going to be enough of a deficit to lead towards Stuart or not, with how well Matta's lead run was, especially since he did all his responsibilities as a lead driver really well. But look at their foot braking, come up short. He could have used a little more aggression here to set him up for a little more success in the chase position here. As they swing it around here, decent mimic, but he just could not strike a pose there in the chase position. Good snappy transition there from Stuart. He's crossed the finish line. Could have also used a little more angle like Matta did. That was the only deduction I saw in Matta's lead run. He could have had a little more angle, but
very quick.
Mine is going to Matta, and so is Robbie's there.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Yep, there it is. Austin Matta gets the win. So Stuart tried to get it done there on the second run, being out front, but just doesn't. Austin Matta gets the win. And again, we didn't see him yesterday in seating because he was locked and loaded into his top 16 spot. Again, that's that big turbo fan being used quite a bit here. Alex Jagger, that new Dove Gray Steel It Coatings livery on his Nissan 370Z. And we are getting ready here for Habich.
Hot cabbage.
I got some recommendations on how to pronounce his name yesterday, so just referencing that. Got some people let me know. So Habich here, Jayce, and Alex Jagger. Jagger will lead. Got another driver that's locked and loaded here into our 32.
It's looking good in practice, Jared. Let's see what happens.
All right, Alex Jagger coming down in that Steel It Coatings Nissan 370Z. Habich back there quite a bit in that S chassis. All right, now coming up is Alex Jagger. Oh, and Jake, oh wow, absolutely gets aggressive there on that second outside zone. Jagger, and it looks like Habich is struggling there in the chase position. And there you go. That was a textbook lead run there from Alex Jagger. You know, quite a bit of time off, but competes at the Gambler and different events there on the East Coast, so definitely finds himself behind the wheel quite a bit, but a good lead run there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, besides from the, I would like a little more flair in the initiation myself, but
it's 32, man.
I stand by what I said.
You can't win at 32. I said what? Okay. I digress.
Hey, look at that. I thought they look, it doesn't even bother me. I actually set him up for a better angle in the outer zone 2 there. He's done good approximation in inner clip 1 here, and Jayce just having a hard time there. He set a little banana back there, Jagger did, for Jayce to run over there. Kind of messed him up there after inner clip 2 in the keyhole. So definitely needle wavering towards Jagger at this point. I like what he did in the front. Jayce is gonna have to do something real special in the lead lane to. Jagger's definitely gonna put the pressure on him. Let's see here from the sky here as we get through inner clip 1, climbing up the hill. Jayce losing a little angle, trying to reel him in, gives him a little love tap. I am here. It's about as close as he's gonna get in this entire run here, and Jagger, he don't care. He's just doing his thing out there, pouring the smoke out of that Steel It 370Z, and here we go. As you can see, look how hard it is to see even through that drone, and we're not even in the driver's seat. And there we go, going back up the hill. Let's switch him around.
All right.
I wonder if if they want to check out the car or not. Yeah, I think we're not seeing them at the line. I'm guessing Jagger is going to want a 10-minute.
Oh,
There was a collision with a complete run, so then we, I believe we give them both free 5-minute
allotment.
Yes.
All right, so Habich saw some contact there.
Yeah.
Yep. So contact without an incomplete. That is a courtesy 5-minute. Courtesy 5-minute for both the drivers. So Habich and Jagger being put on ice there for a moment.
Well, we warm up the sweeper.
Yep. I'm telling you, that thing's getting more track time than anybody here. Yeah, Advani and Davis. Advani there on the right, Davis on the left. Our GT Radial top 32. Jack Davis, Advani, earning it yesterday.
This should be a good battle here, Joe.
You think so? Why is that?
Advani's,
what do you
might have
expect?
taken a year off. He kind of did a little cleanse of his crew. He's got a new crew, new mentality, fresh car. And I know he can be a ripper. He participates at a lot of our demos. And Jack Davis is definitely no slouch either, so let's see what happens.
All right, Jack Davis out front. The Deutschwerks BMW now coming down into that inside clip, and there's Advani. He just hangs out. Let's see if he can catch up. Jack Davis out front into that second outside. He comes up short, but that allows Advani. Oh, Advani made a mistake. Oh, no. That is a huge shock to his system. Advani had it.
He did.
And again, with Jack Davis coming up short in that second outside zone, that gave him that window of opportunity to get right next to him. But then into that second inside clip in the horseshoe, he just comes to a halt, and that's going to hurt him.
It's so tough when you scrub that much speed in the keyhole to keep the rear tires lit here. But look at his aggression here in the chase. Right where he wants the pocket, sets him up real good here. But Jack Davis was a little more to the right. I think the judges want to see where we used to have a touch and go. He did come up short in outer zone 2 there, but look here, all the angle from that Corvette. And he did keep it lit, but opposite drift there a little bit. We're, 3 tires off. Huge deficit for Advani here, unfortunately. He was looking real good in the chase. Not to take anything away from Jack Davis's lead run, because it was all what he needed to be successful in the chase position.
All right, so looking, Advani just pulls right back, so.
Yeah, I think it just stalled.
Just a scenario. I don't know.
Oh dear.
Wind kicking up here quite a bit.
Yeah, we might take flight.
Yeah, keeping it cool, but umbrellas and tents. See the flag.
My.
The flag is standing stiff here. So Advani and Jack Davis on the line, removing some of that debris on the track. And their alternate order. Advani will lead, Jack Davis chasing him down. And in my eyes, Jack Davis having an advantage here with Advani having a massive mistake there. So again, the judges, that's what we're talking about. No incompletes, but basically deductions. And, the judges weighing, a mistake versus a massive incomplete that would abrupt anybody in that chase position. Here we go, Advani and Davis coming out of the start chicane. Let's see if Advani can get in tight and right. Pass it inside, massive angle there from Advani. Now coming back up the hill. This is where he had that flub, but I'm guaranteeing he's not going to do it again. Now he's out front, and it looks like Jack Davis, he almost has a bit of a mistake there, but he does keep it sideways.
Whoa.
He falls back quite a bit. Advani almost come unwound right there. Right, he hung it out to dry. He did keep it together. That got a little sketchy for Advani out front.
Just wonder how on the razor edge that Corvette is from being gripped up too much to allow him to drive a little easier. But a little straight line initiation going down the rumble strip there. Going through inner clip 1. Jack Davis put on the pressure great here as they approach outer zone 1. Advani doing a good job here, filling out that outer zone 2. Like you said, he's got real good angle here through the inner clip 1. Davis very much putting the pressure on Advani here. We can see he was probably too far to the left to begin with and kind of poured too much angle on, but that didn't stifle Jack Davis either here as he stayed right on the tail of that Corvette and did a good job in the chase position. So if I was a betting man, it's going towards Davis for this battle.
All right, awaiting the verdict here. And slide him left for Jack Davis, or right for Advani, and unfortunately Advani, like you said. So Jack gets the win and advances on that Deutschwerks BMW. Advani knocked out. Throwing it down to Lorette Nickel. Lorette Nickel, what's cooking?
Well, what's cooking is Tommy Lemaire is back, and he's taken a year off from FD, but we're so excited to have you back. What are your expectations coming into Atlanta?
I think now we are coming back with a stronger car, a good team, all my friends from Quebec, and we have our own program now. So I think the expectation is to go from A to Z without having any issue with the car, and the rest is going to be just my driving.
Tommy, I'm so excited to see you. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck.
TLO, Tommy Lemaire, XPN. Very busy livery. He's got Donati, Jeff Donati with again that Porsche Pig livery on his BMW as we advance on here. Our GT Radio Top 32. O'Sully. Saw a lot of O'Sully shirts down there in the pits, Fairfield, Connecticut, going against Chris Leonard. And Chris Leonard rocking the mullet Texas mud flap. Let's see what we got. O'Sully coming down that RTS BMW. I know you're a Mustang fan here, Sopa, as O'Sully rips past that inside clip. Leonard got some track time yesterday, but O'Sully is oh so fast right now. Coming to that second outside zone. Leonard now finds himself right there. It seems like that is exactly where they strike. You gotta time it, be consistent though. That just shows you some veteran moves when we go to see Pro tomorrow. You know, you'll see them just, and keep in mind power, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, power, weight, tires, you know, there's so many things, and that's the equalizer.
I was pleasantly surprised to see Leonard do what he did in the chase position here, but O'Sully doing a great job here in the lead. Leonard pulling a little angle at it to get some approximation, but there's a lot. That's what I like about this course. It gives the chase driver a little opportunities here to kind of reel him in, get a semi-fresh reset. But Davis here coming out of inner clip one, and Leonard doing a good job of anticipating his transitions here. He does kind of back out and do it a little earlier, but it's almost like he's hiding a correction or a deficit of his car or driving that he can really get back in the pocket without it looking like it was a mistake or offline, so to speak.
All right, Leonard will now be out front. O'Sully chasing him down. Like I said, it looked like he had a lot of horsepower. O'Sully, it's, again, pacing. Pacing is key here to strike and, again, show that kind of veteran move. And O'Sully does not back down. I thought he was going to kind of dial it back, but no. And that ended up biting him there. So O'Sully kind of goes off course a little bit, gets a little sloppy in that chase position, but Leonard, he overshoots that inside clip two in the horseshoe. Good transition almost simultaneously there from O'Sully here in this RTS BMW, and now brings it on back up the hill. So got a little tight on the second half for O'Sully. What are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, let's take another look at it here. There's so much going on here. Like, look at the angle poured on by Leonard here, taking out that clip, but O'Sully getting some tires off there. He did waver a bit, taking some angle out. Gotta appreciate the angle that Leonard started on there. Did sacrifice his line there in outer zone 2 and his proximity to the inner clip 1, but O'Sullivan just doing a good job mimicking, closing that gap where he needs to. A little wavering from Leonard out in front here, but look at that mimicking the transition right before the finish. Beautifully done by O'Sullivan. Good job by both drivers here. Taking another look at it from the eye in the sky. Look at the angle just pouring out of there, kissing away that inner clip 1. And there it is. Sully with a little dirt drop there, sacrificing. I don't think he sacrificed as much angle as Leonard did in the chase position, but I did like Leonard's approach to outer zone 2. His car was already set up at angle like the judges have been wanting the pro cars to do. And they took a little page out of their book, and look at that, perfect, just nice snappy transition. You never know exactly how fast the lead car is gonna snap, but that was a good job anticipating.
Oh, we got the Glizzy gang down here, bro. Yo,
where are you guys?
Just got some sausages down here. Nice, dude. Look at these guys. Glizzy gang, exclusively mustard, no ketchup, right? Oh, yep, just mustard, just a little yellow mustard for your sauce. There's your sauce boss right there.
He's struggling.
There you go. Yeah, he's struggling getting that mustard open. Somebody help him. This guy needs mustard help. Needs a mustard assistant. Look at this guy just fumbling his mustard. All right, here we go. O'Sully, slide him left, right for Leonard. Oh, we got it one more time. and one for O'Sully, and another vote for O'Sullivan. So Rob Nishida saying, hey, that was a good run, kind of splitting hairs here, went one more time, but the other two judges, talking about Reese and Brian Egger, saying, let's go O'Sullivan. So O'Sully gets the win. Leonard is knocked out. So O'Sullivan, he is in. And we got Cody Buchanan and Alex Lichliter. Buchanan, he's having some fun, but having some, you know, just wants to keep his mind right. Talking to Laurent Nickel earlier, and Lichliter making some changes to his car. Let's see what he's got as Buchanan comes out of the cannon. Came in like a Buchanan ball. Now coming down the hill, what do we got? Buchanan a little squirrely into that first. You see some wavering. Lichliter. Looks like he goes a little wide. That might have thrown him off. It definitely did. You can see he compromised the angle to gain some ground, but Buchanan keeps it steady and ready. That SRDZ now back up the hill. Yeah, Lichliter just on that initiation, you saw him just kind of slide out a little too far behind Buchanan.
I feel like sometimes when the race driver does that at this track, they can recover well because they can transition a little earlier and set themselves back up. Yep. He just could never fully recover here. Look at Buchanan out front. Cool as a cucumber. Like you said, out of that cannon. He's going up into outer zone 1 here. Feeling really well. Lichliter struggling to keep up and reel him in. Buchanan, beautiful job filling that outer zone 2. Awesome proximity to that inner clip 1. Good snappy transition, but Lichliter, I think he just got mostly lost in the smoke there and wasn't sure where Buchanan was on the course. And Buchanan just out for a ride on a Friday. All on his own, just doing what he needed to do. I don't think he ever looked back in the lead position. And we'll see what Lichliter can do on the front. Hopefully he can clean his run up, figure out what's going on.
Yeah, Lichliter, definitely an excitable young man. See what he's got out front, and there we go. Lichliter will lead. Buchanan chasing him down. You got to think, you know, you have this whole season off. You go into round 1, road Atlanta. I mean, this is a big track. Lichliter hits it, and you saw those green wheels just stick out like a sore thumb. Had some correction there. Buchanan now comes in. Oh, Lichliter. That's going to be all she wrote. So again, major mistakes, you know, or sorry, major mistakes, and then just an absolute incomplete going off course, shutting her down. So out front, that's going to impede on Buchanan, and Buchanan rips it all the way across the finish line.
Yeah, can you tell how excited he is by how many rev limits were in?
That was, yeah, on the rev
even
meter.
on the foot brake. Look at that, we got right on that front left, and he probably initiated a little too early than he wanted to. Car gripped up. Buchanan, beautiful job adapting to that situation here. Lichliter just abandoned ship, and Buchanan is going to go for a little free lap here, pouring in the smoke under that 370Z, and he's out to party. He's going to be back in the top 16. I'm fairly certain.
All right, this will be a quick judgment call here. Slide him left for Buchanan or right for Lichliter, and you know what's going to cook. Here is coming in like a Buchanan ball. Cody Buchanan gets the victory and advances on. Throw down to Laurent Nickel. Laurent, what's up?
Well, Jack Davis and I are just chatting about his run where we're going to see him advance into the top 16. But you basically said that was your second lap ever on this track.
In the dry today. Okay. So yeah, practice was real patchy, it was real wet, so we didn't get that much time in the dry. So I just sent it, and it worked out. So
how did you get comfortable so quickly?
Me and the teammates, we've been practicing a lot on the simulator, and then last year I made it to top 4, so I had quite a few laps under my belt. Okay. So I was pretty comfortable with it.
We love that for you. Jack, thank you very much. Jared?
Thank you so much, Lorette. And, you know, simulators playing a major role. You know, Sim Magic is a partner of Formula Drift, and, you know, I know I'm building one right now for my kids, actually, and thanks to Sim Magic. So if you haven't headed over to the Sim Magic Activation tent, get ready to experience the ultimate drift simulators. Our simulators offer a hyper-realistic drifting experience that will leave you feeling like a pro. So check out Sim Magic, both online and here in the building. So simulators playing a major role. I know Hiro Manoa He after he left Long Beach, I was talking to Robin Ashidi. He says he's just been banging on that thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So all right. So update on this. So we are seeing Jayce Habich on the left. They got that, you know, basically mandated 5 minutes, but then Habich needed to call another 5 minutes. He made it, so competition timeout was called. Alex did not utilize his, but Jagger here, he's going to chase him down to get that dove gray. Steel It Coatings, all new livery here for him, but we'll see if Habich brings it back, because if you can recall, Jagger did have a really good clean run here. You said you wanted a little more flair there. We'll see if he brings it here. But Habich looks like he gets disrupted by the rumble strip. But Jagger, ooh, Habich, wide swing around that second inside clip into the horseshoe. Now exiting out of the horseshoe, ton of smoke here. And Jagger looks like he's kind of steering clear and keeping it close. He knows, you know, that strategy.
Big
you know,
time.
like,
Yeah,
don't go super ridiculous like you said. You wanted more flair, but again, you gotta peak at the right time.
All right, like I always say, you gotta have a good canvas to paint a good picture, and well, this is the canvas that Jagger has, and you can't go too much flare in the initiation like I want to do, but Jayce just didn't seem as comfortable in the lead position as Jagger. So we're looking at here, he does fill out our zone 2 well. He does go wide here, and I feel like Jagger he's like, maybe I should pass him, but I think that he threw too much angle in it, and he could have struck an opportunity there to gain more proximity, but he didn't. But I feel like he knows that he has an advantage here with his lead run and letting that kind of marinate as they were going through their competition timeout. So still kind of going to be a close call, but if I had to say anything about it, I'd be wavering towards Jagger at this point.
All right, so waiting for the verdicts here. I believe I know which way the needle's going to go, but Habich joining us here in Formula Drift. He is a Formula Drift PROSPEC rookie. Slide him left for Alex Jagger in that new Steel It Coatings dove gray looking livery. And it looks like Jagger gets the win unanimously as Habich is knocked out. So hopefully we'll see Habich at our next round of the Link Engine Management PROSPEC Championship. Congratulations to Alex Jagger for moving on. This is a bye run?
Yeah, so this just in.
Mr.
Jimenez, yeah, he lost his turbo. I don't know if they can't find it, but they,
did he call the front desk?
Yeah, well,
Hey,
maybe it's up at Will
turbo
check it
down there?
out. But no, so they couldn't get one or find one in time. So now Brutskiy gets a bye run here. We're gonna get a free lap out of him, and he'll be going on the top 16.
And of all people to get a bye run, this is a guy you don't want to go against. You know, he's a multiple PROSPEC champion. So Dmitriy Brutskiy, team never settle. He gets a bye run here and advances on, and interestingly enough, he goes, like you said, goes against Buchanan.
That'll be a good one.
The pink purple leader. So Brutskiy with that bye run.
Fill the dome with the smoke.
Yeah, zero. He's not
Zero
settling. He's not settling at all. All right, so we are officially halfway through our Link Engine Management PROSPEC Championship. When we come back, don't go anywhere. Halfway through, the party continues here at Road Atlanta.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
On race day, when we want to show everyone out there who's the best,
Here we go, Frederick Osborne.
we really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this. I'm the best there is.
The star is Frederick Osborne.
Looking for what comes next, for that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
All right, well, welcome back. We're officially halfway through our Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship. Jared Dienda here, alongside Matt Sopa, and along our three judges, Reese Marin, Brian Eggert, and Robbie Nishida. So, seen some pretty definitive decisions up until this point. You know, I think that there's a lot of room for refinement.
Yeah, we're only going to see some better driving, of course, as we even do in the pro bracket, as we whittle them down. You know, see what everyone's made out of, and you know the jitters are out. Now we got Kohl Richards and Kasey Kohl going up next. You know, a young buck and a not so young buck, but
this should be a good battle.
Going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah,
sure.
Kohl, you know, finishing really well, top 5 last year, not making the jump to pro, and I think that's a good decision for him. You know, the Coro Works 86 FRS, whatever you want to call it, the BRs.
What did we coin it last year? Yeah, the BR86.
FRZ, ZX 89er, I think. Here we go. So Kohl Richards,
cordless,
and we're talking about Kasey Kohl. So all right, Kohl Richards coming down the hill. That Coro Works GT radio, of course. Oh, Kohl Richards, he swings wide but snaps back. He salvages that. He dips that back right tire into the dirt. And that new M-Spec Performance S chassis, he said he cut almost 300 pounds out of the thing. But look at the angle from Kohl Richards. Kohl Richards brings it back. Kohl, I mean, that was super aggressive. What are your thoughts on that? Again, I think maybe a little bit of nerves there. Like, okay, here we go.
Man, I feel like you got a
right?
that Georgia Mudfudge kind of snapped him back there going up the hill. But look at the aggression here. Just a little too much. It's going to be the deduction in the judges' eyes for sure because they cut off the chase drivers, but Kohl kept his composure in the chase position. Richards bringing it around here. Could have been just a little bit closer, but Kasey Kohl kind of closing the gap here towards the end of the run here as he doesn't match his angle, but he's definitely matching the pressure that he needs to. But again, that smoke is definitely deterring his vision there, and I feel like that had a little contribution to why he might not have been at the line he needed to be in the chase position. But you can see him kind of get pinched off there by Kohl Richards there as they head up the hill, going to the outer zone 2, filled it really well, got a little more piece of the dirt there, but Kasey Kohl definitely keeping the pressure here, anticipates the transition, but I think the smoke and his line, his car's already filled up with smoke, so he had a hard time kind of seeing, I feel, to get back into the pocket where he might have wanted to be. But hats off to both gentlemen on that run. Let's see what Kasey Kohl does out with some clean air as we get the boat out here and sweep it once again.
Had the opportunity to talk to Kasey Kohl, you know, him and Stuckey, they work together, you know, and M-Spec, he says he's cut the weight down, like I said, nearly 300 pounds out of his chassis, built a whole new setup. He's liking it, he's feeling comfortable here. Kohl Richards, don't know what he's modified too much from his vehicle, but like I said, he's got a lot of equity in his corner as far as, you know, Takayano's in his ear. Coro Works, who's right here from Georgia. So shout out to Revel Tyler, RIP, we love you. And obviously we saw the Coro Works vehicle down in the Type S booth, so that was pretty cool. But now here we go. So Kasey Kohl, M-Spec Performance will lead. Let's see if cutting that weight, trim the fat.
Yeah, I love their strategy and mentality as far as cutting weight. It makes the car more nimble. So
yep.
See what happened.
They said the car was previously, like you say, a whisper and a wish here. now it's actually out of metal and carbon fiber. So now it looks like Kasey Kohl finds the right spot, but Kohl Richards now coming up the hill. There goes Kasey Kohl. Comes up short on that second outside zone. But Kohl Richards very aggressive in that chase position. Both of them cutting the corner on exit. And again, that was just a track reference. And Kasey Kohl comes back up the hill, leading out Kohl Richards. And for being a young man, Kohl Richards, and you know, this is what, sophomore season here in ProSpec?
Yes, yeah.
And just really making a lot of noise.
Yeah, I feel like just shooting from the hip, I felt like Kohl Richards was a little more dominant there in the chase. They kind of both pinched each other off there with the in the lead car heading up there, but Kasey Kohl needed to be in that outer zone too to really show the right line there. But Kohl Richards put on the pressure a lot more, and they both kind of fell off at the latter half of both their chase runs against each other. So I think the biggest deficit I see shoot from the hip was Kasey Kohl not getting to that outer zone too. That's going to be a big deficit. He was like half a car width away from there. Kohl Richards had a really much better approach into there, and it's just what the judges want to see there. They don't want to see.
It was dynamic.
Yeah.
And what's like to add to that is Kasey comes up short, and then Cole's like, bang, right there. I got your number. That was like a little bit of dominance.
Yeah, and he did it with intent, and not the aggression wasn't too much. He didn't just run into him, and he seemed like he knew what to do in that situation.
Hey, the grass looks so green. Looks so good, by the way. It looks like a golf course out here. I mean, that's a beautiful backdrop. All right, slide him left for Kohl Richards, right for Kasey Kohl. Regardless, they're both rolling Kohl. Just first or last name. Here we go, Kohl Richards. Kohl Richards gets the win in that Coro Works 86 FRS, and Team Rowdy's hyped down there, Greg. And let's throw it down to Lorette Nickel. Lorette is with the Brutskiy.
The Brutskiy, the only driver in ProSpec with the 2 championships, with any championship. And he's doing double duty. We're not only going to see him today, but also tomorrow in Pro. What led to that decision?
I always was a fan of double duties. I wanted to try it at some point, and this year kind of came everything to the point that allowed me to do it. Huge shout out to Michael Essa, allowed me to run the other car in Pro. Some of the deals that we wanted to make for this year didn't happen, and I was almost going back just to Pro, but shout out to my wife, happy birthday, baby, I love you, who was yesterday. And she just said, no, we're never settled, we're going for it, and let's just do it. You leave one, so yeah, we wrapped both cars with this beautiful livery, and we have a lot of supporting sponsors that gave us a lot of parts and product to be here, and we're just having a good time.
I love that. Dmitry, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Again, happy birthday to his lovely wife, and Dmitry's a proud father, and just, again, that's great to see. Here we go, Trevor Root and Matthew Bystrak. All right. The root is on fire. Here we go. Trevor Root comes into that first initiation point. Pass there, Bystrak. Again, he's not in his car that he prepped for this season, but hopefully we see it at our next round. And Trevor Root, he has that wide swing around that second inside clip. Not as detrimental as not hitting that second outside zone, but Bystrak, you can see, just not the exact horsepower measurement that Root has out front. All right, so again, looking forward to seeing Bystrak's new S550, man.
Well, of course I am, but I was hoping he put a little more pressure here on Root. Root looking like a new man here out front this season compared to last. Looking real strong there, real smooth and steady, and then going into outer zone 2, filling that really well. He could have set up the car a little earlier, but I think that's what caused him to be a little wide there on interclip 1. Bystrak kind of failing to capitalize on that wide line that Root had, and couldn't quite reel him back, and he was actually losing ground on that last half of the run here. Another look here from the drone as they shoot up the hill. Bystrak just kind of shut it down there a little bit there, and like I said, kind of squandered his opportunity to close the gap here. Later transition to the Mimic as they go back down the hill and just kind of lose a lot more real estate as Root kind of runs away from him. So he's going to have to do something to dazzle the judges here, or even force a mistake.
Razzle-dazzle?
Yeah.
Is that what you want? Having a little sprinkles on your ice cream? Not
Why
sweet
not?
enough?
Mint chocolate chip, my dude.
Okay. Oh, dude. Is that your favorite ice cream flavor?
It is.
That's mine, too. Well, the more nuclear, the better. Not like the white, like, elevated. I want like the nuclear Baskin Robbins. Tillamook, yeah, let's go. Either or. Anyways, let's see what kind of sprinkles we got here from Bystrak out front. Trevor Root. Bystrak uses all the course here. Now Trevor Root comes in. See, look at this. I mean, Bystrak's putting the car in the right places, but Root could seize an opportunity here with maybe having that horsepower difference. Now coming back down the hill. Bystrak showed up really well on that second run. I think he tuned it up a little bit there, man. I'll tell you what, maybe Rue was playing too safe. That wasn't, you know, that wasn't just seeking the sword, man.
That was the Bystrak I saw in practice about an hour ago, and that's why I was kind of disappointed in his chase that he didn't capitalize. Well, I didn't see Root go off there, but I don't think there was a good enough detriment on Root's chase, because he definitely kept the dominance on his chase position versus Bystrak chase. They both kind of lost real estate in this last half of the course here, but Root definitely was able to reel him back in and was just a lot more aggressive in the chase than Bystrak's chase, and I think that's going to set him apart here. Besides that little oof here, because we're trying to keep the lead drivers not to choke up there going up the hill. That's why I removed that touch and go, so that the chase driver has a little better opportunity to stay in that pocket, stay on course for that matter, and they both went wide here, but Root capitalized on that. Didn't squander the opportunity to keep on the door when he went so wide there, and he hold on the pressure, pulling a lane out of the car, and then look at that, just strikes where it needed the most, and that's going to set him apart there on that last like third of the run. So I think you know where I'm thinking.
Yeah, I know where you're going. Anyways, we got this 2002 Kubota down here on track for sale. So if you guys want to come down here and check out this Kubota.
Oh, this close, we're going to do a side-by. They're side-by-side. Yeah, look. Besides Bystrak's, kind of look a little waver there in the initiation, but Root's only mistake there in the chase position is that he kind of went off course, but like I said, they kind of get pinched there where the old touch and go used to be there heading up the hill. And you kind of see on the left side here, Bystrak just losing all that real estate where Root capitalized. He changed his line in the chase position and transitioned at the right moment, right before that finish line. Just really well done there. Horsepower difference or not, I know Matt's got some sort of a Jayce under the hood, and those are usually never a slouch. I'm not sure. I mean, it's his old car. Well, current car, obviously, but it's been used a few years in PROSPEC, so it's definitely not down on power, but if there is a deficit there between the two cars, that could have came into play, like you said.
Here we go, going to the judges, slide them left for Root or right for Bystrak. And look at this, Bystrak gets the win against Trevor Root.
Color me corrected.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So Bystrak gets the victory. Eggert, if we can throw on your headset there. And we got cars in line, but real quick, Bystrak gets the victory.
Yeah, it basically just came down to lead runs and who did a slightly cleaner job than the other. Chases were definitely less than desirable from some of them, but watching the leads come through, Bystrak just did a little bit better job in a couple of the areas that we were looking at, and he got the win based on that. But he definitely needs to clean it up by the next round if he wants to keep going on in this competition.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, Matt over here was kind of leaning towards Root, but
well, that's why I get to judge without consequence.
Exactly, real judge. Anyways, we got these two guys down here for on the line. Joshua Love, Lee Yearwood, and Joshua loves drifting. This dude's one heck of a guy. And Lee Yearwood getting some support from Nappy Boy Automotive on T-Pain, announcing that they're supporting this homeboy Yearwood in the chase position. All right, here we go. Joshua Love into that inside clip, now transitioning up the hill. Josh Love, he is showing why he is here. And Yearwood, he put on a heck of a show yesterday. Oh, hey! Ripping bumpers. The monster BMW comes in tight. He might be Josh Love, but he don't love that front bumper, does he? All right, so Josh Love runs up the hill. Yearwood.
Fun fact about that BMW, it's actually got an RB in that thing, Jared. So here we go, look at Yearwood staying right behind Love there as they go up the hill. He doesn't pitch him off, and there we go. Going up there, could have been a little deeper in outer zone 1, but he does set himself up really good in outer zone 2, in my most humble opinion. A little left foot brake in there as they get through past the contact point of interclip 1 and their bumper, deleted, out of the door. Here we go. Yearwood trying to reel them back in here as they go through Josh Love's smoke, and they get real close to interclip 3 and head back up the hill. Another view of it here. Look at Yearwood. They're a little wavering in the chase position, but Love cool as a cucumber as he stays fairly consistent in angle going up that hill. A lot of times we see guys pull angle out just so that they can reach outer zone 2, but he came in at the right kind of temperature, had a left foot brake there to kind of keep his composure through outer zone 2. Coming out of the keyhole there as Love pours on the smoke and just throws it in the Yearwood's face, and there they go back up the hill. So good performance by both gentlemen. Yeah, but like I said, that's an interesting build of Lee's BMW here. It has an RB 30.
Yeah.
So it's
that's a very like just a unique build.
Yeah, usually there's an LS or a JZ in those.
Well, Yearwood's got the clean air, and he's got even more now since he sans that front bumper. Here we go, the Monster BMW, like I said, being supported by Nappy Boy. Now here we come into that first inside clip, transitions aggressively. Wow. Yearwood put on one heck of a show yesterday. He had to earn the spot here in 32. Josh Love, he got to chill yesterday outside a little bit of wet practice. Transitioning back down the hill. Yearwood, and then Love in tow.
Beautiful.
Woo! Yearwood, a Formula Drift PROSPEC rookie going against Josh Love.
Yeah, you can kind of see Love's been in, the pro championship before, so it's kind of showing here what's got to be done here in the chase position. Not taking anything away from Yearwood's lead position, but he was very short in the outer zone 2, giving Josh a little more of an opportunity. He stayed the line. That's what I love seeing, is chase drivers not completely following the lead driver when they make a mistake, but they kind of keep it in check so that it doesn't really, I'm not sure how to put it, but
yeah, with respect.
Yeah.
With respect of the line, but not completely ignoring or
awesome. Like that's probably the closest we've seen a chase driver get in going up the hill, and Josh just kept his composure there. He knew he was going wide, but he struck at the opportunity right there. Awesome transition and kept the pressure on just awesomely. Look at this next mimic of the transition. Boom, right in the pocket, right where he needs to be, heading up the hill. Awesome job.
And that really showcased right there, that angle showcased exactly to your point. Yearwood, he forewent and didn't get into that second inside clip, but Love was right there. Like, it was kind of like he was running his own line, but with respect of where Yearwood went within reason.
Right, it's kind of like when in a situation where, Josh Love gets the win.
Yep, there it is. Josh Love gets the win, and absolutely to your point. So Josh Love advances on. A great effort there by Yearwood, but again, Yearwood maybe just needs to be more methodical about where to place the car as opposed to just drifting the course.
Yeah, the outer zone 2 seems to be an Achilles heel, but it's a tough one to kind of master.
All right, Dustin Miles styles for Miles and Brian Wills, and these are two 11 drivers, meaning they go at it 110%. And just meeting Wills, talking with him like you did, and we did it as well. He's going to leave it all on the course, and it could very well be some fiberglass, could be that Big Country Laboratories wing out back. So let's see what we got here. And there he goes, throws it in, initiates backwards entry almost, and Wills comes up a bit short there on initiation, and Dustin Miles now in that second outside zone, big angle from him. And Wills now coming back down the hill from Chico, California. Let's see, and again, Dustin absolutely out front.
That was excellent.
That was crazy. That was absolutely nuts.
Yeah, maybe he should have dialed back about half a cup, but he tried to touch the back of his car with that wing of his as we're plummeted in the smoke here as Dustin Miles just about gets out of frame here in the drone shot, heading up the outer zone 2. Could have been a little deeper in there, leaving a little opportunity for Wills to catch up, but he just kind of lost his composure. The aggression and composure rate just was a little off in Wills' chase position here. He just looked a little frantic. I think the nerves got a little better of him, but Miles, let's just talk about that lead run for a bit. That was just very good, pouring on the smoke, all the JZ noises coming out of the hood of that S13, and let's switch him around, see what Wills, he's going to give us a good show here in the lead position. I can feel it in my bones.
Can you feel it coming in the air tonight?
It's Yes.
All right, so Brian Wills now will lead, and I'm expecting a massive entry here now that he's got the clean air and that BCL, that Big Country Labs wing. It's going to try to straighten him out here, but he's going to throw some more angle at it, and there it is. Look at that thing, just pop goes the weasel on that inside clip, just popped up, and look at now Wills that second outside zone. Again, comes in on the latter half of that second outside zone. But dude, this nasty Habich S chassis warrants a plugging of the ears. But Dustin Miles, I gotta be honest, Dustin keeping his composure behind this fireworks show of of Wills out front.
If you close your eyes during that run, which we don't, but
yeah,
you hear one car.
God, dude, that was insane.
Oh yeah, good entry by Wills here, but talk about Miles' composure here. He didn't get off course. Wills throwing a little too much angle there. All the smoke though, and Miles almost making contact with Wills there. Awesome transition here, making up a little more ground from Miles' camp here as they come around out of the keyhole, getting towards the finish. Miles keeping the pressure on through that run there, and looks like the judges are going to want a side-by-side, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what they mean. It's an international sign for side-by-side.
Side-by-side.
Yeah.
I think it was, they're going to give you a massage later. Massage.
Promise?
This little karate chop. Double karate chop. Going to see this BC Racing side-by-side. Go for gold. BC Racing, the official suspension of Formula Drift. Let's take a look at this. All right, and here it comes. Take a look.
Yeah, I kind of want to see lead to lead here. You can kind of see how Dustin Miles was a little more composed out there versus Wills. You know, kind of a straight up initiation from Miles, but and you can just hear the difference. There still sounds like there's only one car there. I can't hear much Jay-Z noises, but Miles hitting all the check marks he needed to. Going through the keyhole there, and even in the chase position against Wills, you can see he does straighten out a little bit there, so that's going to be a little deduction. I can see now why the judges wanted these two shots here to kind of compare. It's going to be kind of a hard call now that we have let it marinate a little bit.
All right, let's see what the verdict is here after a wild ride there. Again, 4th of July, I mean, that's, shoot, months away, but we got a fireworks show here on track between Miles and Wills. And Wills, again, that nasty Habich. He built this car, Chico, California, and wanted to build his own weapon. And he did definitely that, but is it enough for Dustin Miles? No, we got a one more time there, one more time, and there it is, a one more time. So, I mean,
3 one more.
So 3, so unanimously, and I agree with that call. Again, we're really trying to, with the rules and the judging, really kind of minimize the one more times. And when one more times are given, we're trying to reward exemplary runs that are splitting hairs as opposed to rewarding runs that are lackluster. Be like, oh, who's the better of the not so good runs? This, I think, warrants it. So
I agree.
Yeah. All right, Jeff Donati and TLO. Jeff Donati, he's been documenting his experience. I know he's been thrashing on his car up until the last point. And then TLO, like Lorette Nickel had the interview with the Canadian driver. It's good to see him back after a little bit of a hiatus. A few drivers have done that, but here comes Jeff Donati down the hill in the Pink Pig Porsche BMW livery. All right, here we go. Now TLO. He's had a lot of track time, Jeff Donati. Look at that, Jeff rips up into that second outside zone. Comes up short though. He was absolutely flying. You know, it's that kind of blind crest that really just throws you off, but Donati comes back down the hill. You can barely see through the smoke. Just imagine being right there next to Donati and how thick that smoke was, but a great run from both the drivers. Donati, like I said, right here in front of the judges, just comes up a bit short on that second outside zone.
Yeah, check out the straight up handbrake initiation from Donati here, keeping his composure. Nice and smooth for both drivers. Great transition from TLO there as they head back up the hill. Outer zone 1 filled greatly by Donati here. Come on up a little bit short on the outer zone 2, but kind of doesn't stall. But TLO kind of missed an opportunity to kind of close the gap on Donati's door there as they get through the last part of this course here. And TLO kind of cut course a little bit to get that proximity, but we'll see. We'll turn him around. I feel like it's a pretty even keel at this point.
All right, let's see. Tommy Lemaire now out front. Tommy used all the crayons in the crayon box when he did his livery, man. He's got it all out there compared to the pink pig here. As Tommy Lemaire initiates into that first clip. And Tommy Lemaire says, hey, doesn't matter, livery, I'm gonna put it on the track and create some smoke and put it in the right places. You can hear him just kind of thumping the throttle outside of that horseshoe. Now transitions back, wow, and brings it up the hill. And what great placement from Tommy Lemaire. I mean, that was surgery. I mean, give that man a scalpel.
Yeah, I really liked Donati's chase there at the end. That was great too. So let's check him out here. Donati trying to make up some ground here as Tommy heads up back to the hill. Gets much deeper in that outer zone too than Donati. Leaving a little early, but he does kind of slow down here, giving Geoff the opportunity to really improve his chase here. Just check out, he closes the gap here. Not as much angle, but he does sacrifice that for the proximity that he puts on TLO there as they head back up the hill there from the drone. Another shot of it here as they come down through the inner clip one. Look at that. Takes a little piece out of the pie there from the inner clip one as they head back up the hill. Outer zone one, flying through. Donati trying to close the gap here, pushing, making the pressure on TLO as they bring it around through inner clip one. And here it is, Donati doing a great job. Using that reference cone a little bit, but here I like his transition. Trying to get back in the pocket, staying in the game, put on the pressure. It's gonna be a tough call here.
Yeah, Tommy, like I said, Tommy with a great run there. Geoff Donati, good to see him in the mix. And TLO, Tommy Lemaire, gets the victory and comes out on top. Like I said, that, I don't know, I know you liked his like Geoff's chase run on that second run, but Tommy was, I mean, he put the car in all the right spots.
I agree.
All right, so Tommy Lemaire gets the win. And we still have that one more time of Miles and Wills, but right now, Jaden, happy birthday to him. Just, I believe he's turned, I think he turned 17 today, or yeah, 17 or
was it 16
maybe
today?
16 today? I can't recall. But today's his birthday. Happy birthday. 16 today. Awesome. Yeah, because Reese Conklin, it's his birthday. Reese Conklin, happy birthday to him. He just turned 17. So happy birthday to Reese, who just earned his PROSPEC license out at East 10 Drift. So, and here we go. So he's going against Justin Chestnut. So I know Jaden made his debut here last year, and he raised a lot of eyebrows for this young talent.
Oh, restart.
Well, 16 years old. I mean, you know, jump to light, maybe a little bit of nerves.
It happens.
Yep. All right, Chestnut again going back into formation. Jaden rips it back around. And let's see what we got. Again, happy birthday to this young man. Chestnut giving the thumbs up. After Hours Autosports. Let's see if we get a clean start. And wait till they extinguish. We are good to go down the hill. The iconic entry of Road Atlanta Formula Drift. God. Oh, I was definitely not driving like this. In video games, that's about it as Jaden now comes in, powering. Definitely got more horsepower than last year. Oh, and Chestnut shuts it down. And didn't look like Jaden impeded on him. Looked like Chestnut just either had a mechanical or just had a flub, a mental error. And Chestnut just coming in, cutting through the smoke, but Jaden, really well done. But again, Chestnut, right before he entered the horseshoe, had an issue.
Yeah, I felt like, let's check it out here. Jaden, nice little handbrake initiation. Chestnut keeping the pressure on here as Jaden takes up the inner clip one, and they do a nice little transition here going up the hill. Could have been a little deeper in outer zone one, but there you go. I think he anticipated Jaden to go out a little further. The decel ends pretty much before they got to that point, so I'm not sure that's something to consider for the judges. It's also didn't look like 180 degrees, so it's definitely not a fully complete, but it's definitely a deficit on Chestnut's behalf there.
All right. Here we are. Let's alternate the order and see how Chestnut, he's going to need to have one heck of a run here with that mistake. Here we go, Chestnut. Chestnut roasting on some GT radials. After hours, oh, and Jaden.
Oh, wait.
He's back there quite a bit. Maybe strategy, maybe he can catch up, maybe he feels like he's got the horsepower, but not so much the case. Oh, Chestnut comes up short. Maybe he's letting him kind of play. And there comes Jaden back down the hill. I want to see that angle there as he exits out of the horseshoe. When Jaden exited out, you saw the attitude of the car really get disrupted. But Chestnut with that major mistake, that could have hurt him.
Yeah, Jaden was kind of late to the party here on initiation. Chestnut kind of doing his own thing there for a little while as Jaden sacrifices his line, but Chestnut almost made the same mistake in the chase position as he did in the lead and went way wide, giving Jaden plenty of opportunity to close the gap here on Chestnut here as they come back around. So I feel like the mistakes that Chestnut has made not only in the lead and chase position, my needle is wavering towards Jaden at this point.
Yeah, again, Chestnut, like you said, just had that big mistake going in. But again, this is where it's like, now with the ruling, incompletes. You know, there's degrees of incompletes, and the judges dictate that, and then there's, or just kind of, you know, again, mistakes, and then there's incompletes. All right, here we go. So slide him left for Jaden, or right for Justin Chestnut. It looks like Jaden, happy birthday, buddy. Blowing out the candles with your Corvette, 16 years young. And Laurent Nickel is with a gentleman that is in the 16 as well, Alex Jagger, with that new Dove Gray Steel It Coatings Nissan 370Z.
Exactly. So we were just talking about this car being the same as last year, but new title sponsor.
Oh yeah, we have a brand new title sponsor for my car. We're still with Forsberg Racing, but we have Steel It Coatings coming on as our title sponsor. We've been using them for a few years, well, a lot of years we've been using their product. We've been working with them as a partner for about, this is going on our 3rd season, and now they stepped up to be a title sponsor for me. I'm super stoked. We're debuting a brand new color for them. It's called Dove Gray. Kind of looks white, kind of looks gray. Either way, it looks rad to me. So I'm super stoked to get out there and showcase their product to everyone.
Alex, thank you so much. Exciting developments for him and the team. Guys?
Thank you so much, Laurent. And again, Steel It Coatings, yeah, definitely. I know a lot of the teams using it on their chassis. Do you Steel It on any of your vehicles yet?
I haven't had the opportunity yet because I like how you can weld it after it's dried and stuff, so that's pretty cool.
Yep. All right. So we are going back to the one more time of Miles and Wills. So they're in that GT Radial burnout box. You could definitely not mistake Will's vehicle. Nasty Habit, that big Country Labs wing. You know, those wings are definitely the signature look for the BCL. Seen them grow over the years. My buddy just got one. Shout out to Jeremy Bay, 1945 Speed and Custom, building out his LS FCR X7 there in Troy, New York. All right, so who's going to come out on top? Dustin Miles. He's been chilling up until just the battle previously. So our first one more time here in PROSPEC, and I'm liking the flow of the show. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. Dustin Miles, Miles of style. We got Zero Chill Will. Let's see. On the chillometer, oh, he's back there quite a bit. Wills, maybe he took a little advice and says, all right, I'll dial it back, but I'm gonna bring it. He's gotta bring it uphill, literally. Dustin Miles now in. Oh, and Wills throws it in aggressively. He holds on to it. Didn't even see where Miles ended up on that second outside zone. Gonna need to take another look at that. But look at absolutely the smoke bowl just filling this natural amphitheater.
Yeah.
Miles and Wills make some noise.
Woo. I feel like that's going to be his new nickname, Wills No Chills. All right. I heard a gear shift miss, I think. That's why he was late on the initiation here. But that V8 under the hood definitely let him reel him back in here. But he was really lucky that he didn't make contact there. That was amazing. And definitely didn't squander his opportunity here to get back in the game here. I think he just still kind of all over the place, not quite composed. I don't know if it's nerves or just grip and fight the car. Miles very smooth out front and giving him an opportunity to give a good chase. So let's get these cars rolled reverse as Ricky resets our inner clip 1 and 3. Been working hard all weekend in the clay.
Yeah, right. These guys, I mean, the shoes at the end of the day, 1 stinky, 2 red, 3 just beats. Just those dogs are barking.
Oh.
So thank you to our hardworking staff out there. Wills, I think, got a little lucky as well because when Miles came up short, that could have definitely been disaster as he kind of struck, but didn't end up that way. So that's good. All right, Zero Chill Wills coming to the line. Dustin Miles of style here in this chase position. Nasty Habits, Chico, California. Dustin Miles, he's been, again, always got a signature look, always the bright neon wheels. And here we go, now he's pulling away. There's Wills. And like you said, the only car we could hear that first time was Wills. I mean, just absolutely hammers down. Held onto it. And that's definitely going to be a deficit in the corner of Wills.
Yeah.
You can see the car check up. And that was such a good angle. We saw that really allowed us to see how much he slowed down out of that second outside zone into that second inside clip.
Yeah, I feel like you know, his initiation didn't really match the rest of the his style of this run here, as he kind of cuts Miles off there a little short going up the hill here, as he throws in a lot of angle coming up, just getting in outer zone too, but it's just too much there, and he just about looped it there as Miles did a decent job of adapting to that. You can't really fault Miles in the chase position for adapting to that line of Wills in the lead position. So as they come back up the hill, pouring on the smoke, and just, you know, it's with the aggression that Wills has, it kind of, you know, in a judge's position, you're kind of looking at more the attitude, but it's hard to not overlook, but how aggressive Wills is, and it's fun to watch. But as far as the line, it just feels like he's kind of still fighting the car and using aggressiveness to mask that, if you will.
Yeah. Well, this kid's got a big wing and a big future here, Wills. So Zero Chill, like his attitude. He's excited to be here. So you win before you show up, baby, and we'll see who actually does get the win. Brian Wills won. Dustin Miles, and the third, Dustin Miles. Dustin Miles gets the win. So Dustin Miles, 2-1. So it was not unanimous. Congratulations to Dustin Miles, but again, Wills, hold your head up high, as that was a heck of a run, forcing it to a one more time.
Next on the line, we got Nate Chen and rookie Luis.
Yeah,
Lands.
Lewis, like St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Lewis Lands. All right, Nate Chen, it's great to see him back here. He's chomping at the bit, so he's excited. So let's see what we got here from Nate Chen. Nate Chen out front. He won a round at the Gambler, and he's excited to keep that momentum. Oh, buddy. Lewis.
Oh, that's going to be our first incomplete run with contact.
Yeah, that was looks pretty aggressive. Did he? Fortunately, it looks like maybe just cosmetic.
Maybe, or hit the tire.
Yeah, that. Yeah, I want to see that. Other angle. Did he just snap back, or did he break something?
Or
What's
did
going on
he
here?
Too aggressive. Like, he's already on the smoke in the chase position. Left foot breaking. There's a little poof coming out of left front, and he was cutting the line short, and that's.
Was Nate Chen on the right line? Love to run that back again.
I think it was shallow, but it wasn't enough to like maybe fault him. It'd be interesting to see what the judges think of that. Okay, so Nate Chen on the handbrake here. Luis is on the foot brake, straightens out, trying to kind of reel it back here, but I think Lewis is just going too ham sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a ham sandwich for lunch?
I think I had 3.
All right. Well, obviously, all right, so we are hearing that Lewis Lands is at fault in the chase position, just too aggressive, gets in the side of Nate Chen. So if Lewis wants to take a look at his car, he will need to utilize his competition timeout. Nate Chen would not need to utilize it because he was not at fault. So we're making our way through. We got 2 more battles left. Farouk Kawhi and McDowell. So we'll take a short break. We'll clear up the track, And we'll probably visit Farouk Kawhi and McDowell when we come back here, round 1 of the Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship.
On race day, when you want to show everyone out there who's the best,
Here we go, Frederick Osborne.
we really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this. I'm the best there is.
The star is Frederick Osborne.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Max Gear is a high-performance synthetic gear oil designed to provide maximum protection to heavily loaded gear. Its slippery synthetic molecules and center-look additive package not only reduce wear, they virtually eliminate both gear and bearing wear. We run 1,000 horsepower through our transmission and differential all season long and never have a problem. Eliminate a variable. Drift with Royal Purple Max Gear. Pour purple, Royal Purple. You can find Max Gear at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
NGK and NTK is more than just high ignitability spark plugs and precision sensors. They're about growing the car community. This is why they're introducing Shop Squad, an automotive meeting place for shop owners, service writers, technicians, students, and industry professionals to come together and share knowledge and encourage self-growth. Enrolling is free, and you have access to on-demand training, digital newsletters, product launch information, and more. Woo!
Well, Dustin Miles has had some significant changes to his program. So happy for you. What are those?
Well, we got a lot of big upgrades to the car this year. The main one was new suspension on the front and back. WiseFab has completely changed the day for me. Feels like a totally new car. It's updated to this century. 2024 drift cars. Let's go.
Ooh, let's go. We're going to see him in top 16. Dustin, thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Well, there we go. So love the hat, Amazeballs. His team, he's working with like it's like a soap and all this cleaning stuff. So it's pretty sweet. So I'll have to, at 16, I'll bring it up because I got handed a box of products. So I'm excited. All right. So like I said, we are gonna revisit Chen and Lewis Lands, but there was that contact right out of the gate, so here we are. What was to be, this always seems like it's the second to last battle. I'm like, oh, it's supposed to be last, but it's not. All right, so Farouk Kawhi, excited about this Ineos Oil, Dev Speed, S Chassis. Ooh, there comes Farouk, comes in swinging. And there's McDowell, which McDowell, we gotta love him. Big bearded boy, McDowell. Comes up the hill, has a correction there in that second outside zone. Farouk did come up short on that second out. Oh, and McDowell. That looked like it was independent.
Yeah,
didn't look like Farouk threw him off. All right.
Let's just talk about that initiation, though. That was my favorite one.
Farouk?
All day. Oh, my goodness.
Really?
Yeah, that was the flare I wanted, Jared.
Okay, all right.
Let's look at it. Just boom.
Okay.
Yes. And McDowell doing a really good job of mimicking that, too, but kind of lost a little bit of ground there as he's trying to pick up pace here. Farouk kind of struggling with this outer zone, too. I was like, come on, get in there,
Brandon got out there.
And then, boom. Oh, yeah, that was
I didn't see that contact.
Yeah, me neither. So, definitely, you know, shooting from the hip, not Farouk's fault. He was on a good line, good proximity towards the inner clip one. I think McDowell just got a little too excited there with the throttle of that turbo.
Pastrami sandwich?
Yep.
Did you go pastrami? Got spicy.
Yeah, it got spicy.
Like when you get that pastrami, it's got, you bite it like a peppercorn. It's like, oh, that hurt.
Yeah, when you get that by itself, definitely.
Yeah.
Either
So
chip a tooth or. But yeah,
so not ham sandwich. You went a little pastrami sandwich on that one.
For sure, Farouk. I am thoroughly impressed with his performance here in the lead.
Yeah, that's gonna be McDowell in the chase. I mean, just, you know, there was nothing overly wild that Farouk did to throw off McDowell in this instance. He came short, but watch McDowell just dive in.
Yeah, Farouk, there might have been a wish of a handbrake there, so there's no decel zone there per se. So, did you see what I saw?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah, I might have checked us. And the judges, yeah,
so
watch the throttle.
And then it might not have been a handbrake, but it might have been to the throttle to get the car, you know, pitched more forward.
That's not a decel area.
It is not. So it looks like McDowell might be wanting to take, because it was an incomplete run with contact.
All right. Well, let's see.
Shared fault. Okay.
Shared fault. Okay. So basically, both of them are allowed to take a look at their car. 5-minute allotment, not utilizing their competition timeout.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
They have to
if they want to use it, they're going to have to.
Okay.
Yeah, burn that if they will, and that's the weekend. So if whoever gets into the top 16, you can see McDowell here. Looks like the toe is pretty decent. Obviously the wheels are turned to the left, but they're not. One's not hunting, one's not fishing. So he's in good shape there as they delete the bumper here on the ground. But if we use a competition timeout, even in 32, then they won't be able to use one, whoever goes on in the 16.
Yeah, it's the entirety of today. Yesterday's one in seating brackets, but then you get one and only one each day. In seating brackets, that doesn't carry over.
Yeah.
No rollover minutes.
Yeah. 6-caller line, Jimmy.
Well, literally, like 5 minutes, you know, to roll over. All right, so so again, this was intended to be the last battle here, and we're talking about McDowell and Farouk Kawai. So they are both at fault, shared fault. So they do, if they want to get hands in their car, they will have to utilize their competition timeout, one and done. As you can see, our backdrop here, the wind is blowing. We are hearing that Lewis Lands is not going to make it.
Oh,
so
no.
Nate Chen will get an automatic advancement into 16 as he will have to complete his bye run. So yeah. Look at again a lot of breezy. Keep it breezy, beautiful cover girl.
Yeah. So the bye run is just it's a non-judge lead lap is what they got to put down. So.
All right. Yeah, beautiful backdrop here. I mean,
so green.
Clouds look like
all the rain helped that.
Yeah, you could reference The Simpsons or Toy Story wallpaper. All right, so look, they're back at it, man. They said, let's run it. Let's run it, boys. No competition timeout. Got a little contact. A little dust on it. Here we go. All right. Coming down the hill, McDowell leading. Whoa, McDowell. Now he says, let's get it. He throws up that front fender like a gang sign, flapping in the wind. And McDowell is on a heater.
Uh-oh.
That Ajuku Racing, Z, he has a wide swing. He re-enters the picture. Farouk Kawai, he gains his composure. He's all over the course. These guys throwing each other off. But McDowell's entry was risking it for the biscuit. Holy
This is
cow.
one thing I like to talk about, Jared, is we talk about unchaseable leads, but obviously Farouk stayed in the game and chased it, but that was definitely a backwards entry where
that was sick,
it might have been
but the flow was
considered
good.
unchaseable. So let's take a look at it here. I got chills when I look at that thing. And Farouk is right there with him, so there he is, and keeps it lit up the hill here. And with that fender flying out, that is a big distraction. It's not under the rules of things that are not latchable. So, and again, we don't have protests again, but McDowell made a little mistake there. Farouk almost had an opportunity to make a legal pass there at that inner clip, which I was kind of real. I was like, oh, go for it, but not enough real estate there to make that happen.
And to your point about the almost backwards run, that initiation, it might have benefited Farouk that he was so far back.
Right.
Because look, he's on throttle. He's like, okay, boop, just drops into formation. No problem for Farouk. But Brandon was just on a heater.
Yeah.
Slingshots his way up there. Again, his front fender throwing gang signs.
That front right wheel looks a little wonky where that collision was. So I don't know if that had anything to do with his mistake there before inner clip 1.
Yeah.
Or 2, I should say.
No. Yeah, I'm talking to Ryan Sage over here, and that's, you know, we're still fans of this, and Ryan says that was probably one of the better examples of that aggressive, quote-unquote, backwards entry or backy, but, you know, it wasn't completely backwards, but momentum was carried all the way through. So.
Yeah, that's a good point, too, and I've been waiting to see a situation like that where we can talk about, because now we have it was obviously a chaseable lead run, even though it was potentially fully backwards. So look at, now he took the crown from Farouk there as my favorite entry, because he just absolutely nailed it. And Farouk kept keeping his composure, a little more proximity going up the hill versus McDowell's, and McDowell makes up some room there, but both guys a little short in outer zone 2 there, both making, or McDowell making a mistake there. That's going to be definitely a deficit in his lead run. So this is, you know, save the best for last year on the top 32 on your Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship as they head back up the hill. And we'll see what the judges have to say about this one, Jared. That was exciting. I got goosebumps on that entry, and that was awesome. Little battle torn there. It looks like McDowell deleted that fender Foley now as he's checking the steering out. We got the crew out there. Got Michael and Ricky. Looked like there might have been a little oil down, but here we go.
Wow, look at this. Farouk Kawhi, Brandon McDowell, slide him left for Farouk, right for Brandon, and Farouk Kawhi gets the win. So congratulations to Farouk. I know his wife and daughter are cheering him on. Say, go daddy, go. The Ineos Oil Dev Speed S chassis. And that was pretty solid there from Brandon on that initiation, but a lot too late.
that was cool. That was cool, the highlight reel. But
yeah, absolutely. Wreckers or checkers.
Now we got a little track cleanup before we do Nate Chen's buy run here. That'll wrap up our 32 here, Jared.
All right. Well, if you have not seen it, the Formula Drift steering wheel cover, customizable fit, hassle-free installation, available at your local AutoZone or online at AutoZone.com. See that easy clasp install. So pick that up, let everybody know you are a fan of Formula Drift. Fits on any vehicle. So go to AutoZone, your local AutoZone, or AutoZone.com. Also, Sony ES, 15 to 25% off Sony car audio products. Show specials only here at Formula Drift. So again, be sure to go down there and pick up some Sony ES products. Here's how our top 16 has shapen up, because Nate Chen, that bottom right-hand corner, second to last. He will have a bye run once we clean up that oil there on track. But Hooman Rahimi versus Kelsey Rowlings. Austin Matta versus Alex Jagger. That would be a good one. That's going to be the first one. Jack Davis, who said he made it to the top 4. He's going against Soli. BMW's there. Brutskiy, never settle. He's doing double duty. Cody Buchanan. So, and then you can see the second half of it. And then you got that of Richards and Bystrak. And then you got Josh Love versus Dustin Miles. And then TLO, Tommy Lemaire versus Jayce, 16 years old. And then finally, Nate Chen versus Farouk Kawhi. All right, so again, clearing up the track. Wait for Nate Chen's bye run, just to ensure that he is able to run. Otherwise, we'd just end it. But, you know, local time, looking at the clock, 5:24. You got plenty of time to walk the midway, so be sure to go. Like I said, if you're here in the building or planning on joining us tomorrow for Pro, Sony ES products, 15 to 25% off. And also, we have our Formula Drift and Type S gear. Type S. Formula Drift is now selling Type S products. Type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift. They have the Pro Series PSL Smart Underglow and third brake light kit. 2 times brighter stacked RGB LEDs, so check that out. We got the 12-volt jump starter with built-in USB-C cable and LCD display. You got the Type S Formula Drift Pro Series Ultra Slim Smart LED Trim Kit. That's a mouthful and a car full. So SEMA, best new interior accessory product, so pick one of those up. And even our boy Larry Chen, the photographer, has his own Larry Chen 360 LED video light and power bank. 0 to 360 degree color gamut control. And a lot of features there. Color rendering index. This is just a lot of tech here for some cool products. So be sure to go by the Formula Drift booths and pick up some Type S gear. Type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift. Sending Nate Chen for his bye run and our final run of PROSPEC here in top 32. Lay out and listen to Dr. Chen. Well, as Nate Chen finishes that run, let's throw it up to Farouk Kawai. I'm sure wants to send a shout out to his lovely wife and daughter. Lorette, what do you think?
Oh, I'm sure Farouk wants to give a shout out to his wife and his daughter.
What's going on? Yeah, my wonderful wife Rebecca and Sabine are watching out in El Cerrito, California. And to all the people in NorCal, thank you. Thank you for your support and the team and the crew and family. Woo! It's wild.
So good. Now, Farouk was just watching Nate Chen. We're very far away. Were you able to discern anything?
No, not at all. Yeah, honestly, we just had a blast. We came back to FD with a different mindset, just to really come with friends and come with a program that we just have fun with. And so after having our beautiful daughter Sabine, we 4 rounds makes sense, right, with work and everything else going on. And these dudes are rippers. First off, the first person I want to say thank you to is Brennan, because that was wild, right? I mean, that was a total complete mess, and I wasn't sure which way it was going to go because we all made mistakes, but pumped that we got the win. But Brendan, I saw him ripping years ago, and kudos to you, dude. You're a shredder. I'm trying not to swear, but yeah, that's
amazing. And how do you feel about your run?
It was a complete mess. I mean, the lead was okay. I made some mistakes, but the chase, once Brendan I wasn't sure if he was going to over-rotate or just go backwards, so I was trying to stay close enough to him. And once he got back on, I'm like, I'm behind, right? So I was trying to catch up, and he over-rotated a little bit in the keyhole, and then I shifted down to make sure I was in boost, and it was a complete mess, but it was a lot of fun, and that's what drifting is. So whatever happened. I had a blast. I think he did too, and I'm glad he's back in FD, and I'm glad to be back here too.
Yeah, we're glad you're here too. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see him at 7:30 for the opening ceremonies, top 16. Congrats, Farouk.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Guys.
Thank you, Lorette. And as she just said, top 16 opening ceremonies. And Sopa, what'd you think of 32?
That got real spicy at the end, and can't wait to see what's going to happen here when the sun sets a little more.
Yep.
Track's going to cool, so that means more grip.
Yep.
And hopefully these guys can strategize for that. So, we whittled down the 32 obviously in half. So I'm hoping to see some really intense, close battles.
Yeah. Again, refine it like fine wine, baby. So let's have a good time here. We'll see you back here 7:30 local time. PROSPEC round 16 of, again, round 1 of the Link Engine Management PROSPEC Championship. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you here, local time, 7:30. Send it.